Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's day 4 for the VCT NA playoffs, and we walked in here with 8 teams, but now we have the best remaining. It's NA's finest, Sentinels, Envy, and 100 Thieves, and they're going to be the ones repping us in Berlin, but they're still battling it out for a really nice prize pool and also bragging rights to be the best in NA. We're going to break it all down right here on the analyst desk, and my name is Veli, but I'm going to have some help along the way. My man is Vancillian Bach. We've had a crazy journey so far. Starting with you, Bach. I mean, what the results? We wouldn't have guessed it.
And there were teams that we thought might make it a little bit further than they actually did. Yeah. Looking specifically at a team like TSM, there was a lot of hype driving into this event. Unfortunately, they didn't do as well as some expected. But then we also had some surprises. Rise being the most surprising one, the way that they were able to fight their way through the lower bracket, ultimately hitting a dead end eventually. And XZ as well, I mean, they were so close to surprising us all in qualifying for Berlin.
In the end, the biggest story for me is that the team that we wanted to make it after all this time finally did. So Envy, finally, the third team representing North America. I know we're giving them a lot of hype, and we're like, okay, there's still 100 Thieves and there's still Sentinels, but at least, like, for Sentinels, it was a given. Pretty much, right? It was, like we said before, who fights for the second place, who fights for the third place. 100 Thieves, a lot of people predicted this team as well, so I'm happy to see 100 Thieves, but Envy's definitely the highlight.
Yes, and for some reason, if you guys want to recap or just catch in on what's been happening all day yesterday, listen, we had 2 banger matchups where we had XZ and Envy battle it out to get in this last spot, and I said we just go ahead and take a look at it.
The thing for him is that the spike is not down yet, so there's still time.
One enemy remaining.
Hey, dashing around! Yay, good for one! Yay, look
getting it. We see one. That could be 2 shoulders. He might have been able to identify. He does! Dapper for 2! Dapper!
Block off defender spawned on site. You've also got Hiko, who's going to be working in from garage to clear out backside. So far, so good. But Dapper, Austin and Ethan are both able to get a pick a piece. But Sick! Oh, Sick already good for 2! Player right behind him, and he doesn't know. Oh my gosh, he knew! Oh my gosh! Victor's already good for 3. The showstopper second one as well. 34 health. He's got the op. Dancing around the corner, he gets 3. El Diablo, baby, you gotta fear him. Looking for 4. This is why you fear this man. Spawn, it seems like it's gonna require Herculean effort just to equalize things. Yay gets 1. Yay gets a second. What more fitting of a way to do it?
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket to see how things have unfolded so far. From day 1 all the way until now, day 4, we've had amazing matchups. And as you see in the top side of the bracket, Sentinels and 100 Thieves looked so good until they both met up and Sentinels walked away with a 2-0. But now that leaves 2 teams remaining in the loser side of the bracket. And Mark, I feel like both of these teams are going to be battling all out to go against Sentinels to show who's really the king in this region.
I mean, obviously, 100 Thieves, we talked about it yesterday. They've got a lot to prove. To a certain extent, I almost feel like Envy has already proven to themselves what they needed to prove, that they could make it over that hurdle. We saw it in the interview yesterday with Crashies. It was just a relief, so much relief. Like there was a weight that was lifted off his shoulders that they finally were able to push past it. And they recognized it, too. He said, like, you know, we've had this barrier in front of us for so long, and it was only up here. That was what was stopping them. For whatever reason, this mental barrier was getting in the way. They broke through it, and it was just like elation.
Yeah.
On the 100 Thieves on the other side, I don't think they're satisfied with where they're at. I think they need to prove themselves much further. That could be a potential factor. Obviously, both teams are going to bring their A game.
I feel there's a bit of this, too, for Envy, but a bit of this. And I think they found that solution with Marvin and Ye coming into the roster, too.
Yes, and speaking about rosters, let's go ahead and break down all the action right now for the first matchup of the day, and I can't wait. 100 Thieves versus Envy and Bach. Starting with you first, I'm going to need your help to break this down. Envy, one of the teams that you said was full of potential, made some team changes, worked their way through the bracket, and it wasn't an easy journey, and now they're here in the top 3.
It wasn't easy at all, and it was so disappointing to see this roster have to make changes to finally break past that next level. Because we were really hopeful for the longest time. This is that team we're waiting for. How many events did we come into where other pros and other analysts were saying Envy is the team to watch out for? This will finally be their time to shine. Alex was always going to pick them to win. I foolishly followed him into that fire many times in the past, but this roster looks better than any roster they've had yet, and obviously they qualified for Berlin. Yay, Victor, Marv, FNS, and Crashies. Yay, and Marv, the most recent additions. Yay definitely brings a ton of firepower with him.
Yes, and the biggest cosign and shout-out that we got yesterday was Crashy's giving it out to Van Silly, and Crashy's popped off. You believed in his team, and Crashy's on the other end definitely did his thing as Sova yesterday, especially on the Sin.
Yeah, he killed it. He did a good job. So many clutch rounds that he had to go into qualifying matches on Ascent. And, you know, we saw that tweet yesterday, too. He had fun with it. We all had fun with it. But we also saw a tweet yesterday from Ye that said, you know what? I wasn't feeling too hot. El Diablo not feeling hot, that's kind of rare. And to see that all the other players stepped up to the plate to help Envy qualify, then you know they could actually move as a unit as well.
Hopefully he wasn't feeling too hot, you know.
Well, I'm El Diablo for sure right now.
well, hopefully his gunplay is going to be hot because they're going to need it. The team they're going to be going against, we know, First Strike champions and now finding their way back in the mix. One of the three that's going to Masters Berlin. It's going to be 100 Thieves and Van Silly. Looking at this roster, we were wondering when we were going to ever see him again here, but with a consistent lineup, they found their mojo, the juice is there, and they're looking better than ever.
And again, what I love the most about 100 Thieves is that they kept the same composition for the longest time and couldn't qualify. And the time where it matters the most, they came in with something unorthodox. Triple initiator into their lineup and still able to qualify, which is great. But we saw their matches versus Sentinels yesterday where that lineup didn't work out too well versus Sentinels. And I think, as we mentioned it in the green room before going on air, is there going to be some agent composition that should be changed right now for 100 Thieves? I think so. Yes. In a sense that the triple initiator with that Omen and I think there's a Jet, for Asuna, it's a good test to see how it works. But I think getting into Berlin, there's going to be an extra layer now that they know how this playstyle is going to pan out.
And talking about Asian composition lineups, we actually have a head-to-head that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be not just the top fraggers. It would have been easy to do Ye and Asuna. Let's give it to the guys that give the dirty work out there on the field for their teammates to win the games. Bach, what comes to mind when you think of Nitro and a player like Marv?
Well, what makes Nitro so interesting to me is Nitro is a fantastic secondary option for 100 Thieves, someone who actually really excels in that role. He's also the in-game leader for the team. Kind of, at one point in time, he was splitting that responsibility with Steel, and it's possible they're still doing that. Yep. But Marv, what I love is Marv plays Astra, still plays a controller role, but Marv's lurk is actually really fun. So if we were watching in that Haven match yesterday, Marv successfully lurked onto C as Astra multiple times, just kind of walking right onto the site. No one expected Marv to be there, and he was using pressure applied elsewhere by his team to get into those spots. That's typically where you would expect someone like a Cypher or a Killjoy to be because they have that lurk potential. Yeah. But he does it so well as Astra. So two different players, same responsibility with their control and their abilities, but they play the game completely different from one another.
There's sometimes we're going to have roles from or responsibilities from both of these players to be like, hey, you're going to support us for the execution. And sometimes, let's say for 100 Thieves, you'll see Steel's going to be lurking around in the middle side, let's say on Haven. But there is that responsibility that could also happen from Nitro as well. There are times, especially on Haven, when we're fighting on a certain side of the map, but then Nitro's lurking up towards Long C. He opens it up, everybody rotates back. So they have that same responsibility in that case as well, and they fit it quite well. But where I kind of give the edge over to Marv, though, versus Nitro, is the clutch capabilities of Marv. Nitro has it, but I feel personally, without looking at numbers, without looking at stats, just by pure gut feeling and watching these guys play, I give that edge for Marv for sure.
Right, but you've been following Nitro a long time, and we were talking about it in the back room as well. Marv is a phenomenal player, and I even put it out there on Twitter. I said, you know, even though we saw it, I believe it was on Split, I would love to see Nitro on some more Astra. I think he could be more dynamic in that role. Let's go ahead and talk about the maps to see where these teams will battle it out on. Van Silly, you think of maps. We know 100 Thieves, we know Envy. What are you expecting, and what are your thoughts on what's coming up?
So right now, it's a best of 5 no matter what, right? Going into the lower finals, into the grand finals, so there's going to be a map that's going to be taken away. And since 100 Thieves does have the higher seed going into this, I am not surprised that they're taking away Bind. I think they picked Breeze on that second map, which is going to be very fun to watch too. But you're seeing right now a Haven and Ascent being picked by Envy. Their strongest map so far, at least where they're comfortable in playing. I feel that the map pool is deeper though for Envy overall.
I agree.
But I also like the fact that the 100 Thieves are not going to be afraid to play them on those maps either, because Haven, for example, is one of those maps where you can never discount 100 Thieves. They're always close games. They're always comeback games as well. So it's going to be a fun series.
This is something we had talked about yesterday. 100 Thieves having kind of two dead maps. They don't like to play binds, but Split is not a map they typically put much work in. We saw them play it. It was a little clunky. It was definitely missing some pieces. They had some good setups, but the mid-round was lacking. That's the last map in this series, which is typically a good map for Envy, especially if you look historically at this roster. I know that it's changed. There's 2 players who are subbing in now, replacing Caboose and Mummy. But at the same point in time, Envy has had a really good tenure on Split.
Yeah.
So I do worry that if we get to that 5th map, it will be Envy's to take. That's if we get there. I kind of am with you, and I lean a little bit towards Envy, just because I feel like their map pool is stronger.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get stronger. They have a whole new play style. I mean, Ye has a green light. He can challenge 50-50s whenever he wants. This is a brand new team, and they're consistently getting better.
Yeah.
But down the line, let's talk about this matchup and why you guys think who is going to win. Van Silly, Envy versus 100 Thieves. What do you have coming out on top right now? Are you rocking with the new team that's rocking it right now in Envy, or you think 100 Thieves with the veteran play, they're going to have it on lock?
I'm probably going to have to stick to Envy, man. I got a nice shout out from Crashies yesterday. I'm going to have to stick with Crashies and the boys of Envy. The boys in blues, staying cold, staying icy, and hopefully cools me down too.
Me too. Bach, how are you feeling, man? Say it. What's on your mind? Who do you have coming out on top in this matchup?
I'm torn, because I too want to go for Envy and root for them. But in my head, I'm thinking 100 Thieves is not going to be satisfied with anything other than a first-place finish here. So I kind of feel like 100 Thieves is really going to push that to an extra level. But again, like, it's just like that little piece inside my heart that's like, Envy!
What's most important is both of these teams want to win probably to fight Sentinels. That's probably
true.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm going Envy with Van Silly.
All right, it's going to be all about bragging rights, but you hear it on the desk, 2 for Envy. No love right now for 100 Thieves. Let's see if they can prove us wrong right now. We're going to toss this over to a fantastic duo. Sean and DDK, take it away.
Thank you, Veli. Yeah, this is going to be something, all right. I feel like every team is going to be tryharding. This is going to be an incredible matchup. I think everybody needs to win for various reasons here, Sean, and I feel that no punches are going to get pulled. This is going to get really fiery.
Yeah. I agree. I have been a huge critic of the seeding matches late in the tournaments, without a doubt. But this one really does matter, guys. I'm telling you, it's a 16-team tournament in Berlin, and 4 teams are going to qualify from EU, 3 from NA. You don't want to get a bad matchup in that first round. You don't want to have to exhaust all your tactics and your good comps right at the beginning of this tournament. It's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. So these matches here matter, and I think these teams are going to give it their all today.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like they were saying on the desk, like, you know, both of these teams need to face Sentinels and do well against Sentinels for their own reasons. 100 Thieves to prove that they can do that after just getting slapped by Sentinels previously. They have something to prove there. Envy's on a really hot run. They've been waiting for their chance to do this, and they need to prove that they're a contender. And Sentinels at the same time know that both of these teams are going to be coming for them, and they want to carry that confidence and that, like, that indomitable reputation. They want to carry that forward, because that's a really important, like, psychological edge that they can have, not just in this region but every region. If no teams in NA can touch Sentinels, that sends a message to the rest of the world as well. So lots of stakes here for this matchup, and Envy, they've come a really far way, and 100 Thieves, you know, as well, Sean. So I mean, where do you want to start the conversation? I feel like we could go so many different directions with this one.
Yeah, we could go so many directions with this. I mean, it just shows the depth of the NA scene, and I love seeing these big names surpass through the tournament, right? My biggest fear entering these playoffs was that we'd have a lot of fluke upsets, and, you know, Sentinels might not make it through, Envy might not make it through after picking up Ye. But no, the cream of the crop all rose in NA, and we have 100 Thieves, Sentinels, and Envy all going to Berlin. This is like the dream scenario for NA. We have the tactical team in 100 Thieves. We have the loose team in Envy with all the skill. And then we have our powerhouse team in Sentinels. We get the perfect trio of teams sent to Berlin. And I couldn't be happier as a fan. Like, I love this. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is perfect. This is what we really wanted to see, and it's such a deep talent pool in North America. Valorant has risen so much in this region. It's really taken wings, and it's great to see that we get a greater, as you say, like, representation this time around. And these teams are incredible, and there's a lot to say about both of these. As we said, we could go in lots of different directions, but now it is time for the agent select. We'll be looking to go into Haven for the first map of this best-of-5 series here in the loser bracket final. And Sean, we're going to get that KO from Steel just like we saw yesterday against Sentinels, but maybe it'll be a bit better this time.
Yeah, I love that Steel is on the KO, right? People gave 100 Thieves so much, they gave them so much crap for their rigid style when it comes to their comps, right? They were so certain they had the right comps, and the community was so against those comps, especially their Icebox comps, if I remember correctly. And Steel just scrapped everything he was doing as a player and went to KO. We haven't seen this new 100 Thieves style on Icebox. He might bust it out on Icebox, honestly. I love what I see, though, from them, because I think a lot of the problems 100 Thieves had in the past were that Steel found himself not really with the team on the Cypher Killjoy role. He was lurking too much. And when he's KO, he's part of the team. Their attack sides look fantastic, with the exception of being yesterday against Sentinels. I mean, they got kind of blown out yesterday, but I like the flavor, the new style that they brought to this event. And I think it's what got them to Berlin.
Yeah, and the same thing, you know, with Envy. Like, not many teams really had any information on them. They had, of course, you know, lineup changes, getting Ye into the roster as well, and also, you know, Mike's has been working with them as a coach, and that's like a new thing that they've had, a new dynamic that they've had to help to give them a lot of answers. So there's a lot of differences coming into this for both teams, and I think Envy, there is definitely an argument that, like, you know, Ye coming in and being such a powerhouse on the Jet, being so disruptive, and the synergy throughout the rest of the team playing with him, that's been spot on so far. But we have seen this before with Envy. You know, they haven't really tested this fully just yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see if there'll be any breaking points for Envy with the current dynamic that they have, and if it will be 100 Thieves that could find that breaking point. I think that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have nothing but respect for a team like Envy, right? They're near the top of the scene. They're right there with Sentinels, like the number 2, number 3 team maybe in NA. And they're constantly making changes to get better. They're not comfortable with these 4th place finishes. They bring in Marved, and he's nailing it on this Asher roll. He's playing such a different style. But Dan, I don't want to disrupt this. We got the KO knife coming right into mid. The pistol round is live.
Yeah, Steel, they're going to go straight for him there. And Gary, she's going to try to dodge into the smoke, but that's not going to work out. Ethan's able to slow things down here, using the flash and just falling back and away. And at the same time, we've got this aggression in mid, so it's absolute madness right now as Envy try to stabilize the situation. They have that man advantage now, just moving back towards that A site, trying to abuse this A site. And there's not a lot there to really deal with this. It's just Hiko's on the site. It's a great shock dart. A lot of damage with that one. And with the help of Ethan, they're able to finish it off. The weakened players will fall. And suddenly, just like that, Ethan and Hiko making this round come alive, giving a chance here now to 100 Thieves in this pistol. As the spike does get planted, and Ethan tries to push forward and just, they want to capitalize immediately here. They don't want to allow post-plant positions to come into play, and it's Hiko now with 6 HP up in the window. They know exactly where he is. Not a great look for Hiko, but it was a good effort, a good recovery attempt. But after all is said and done, Sean, it's an Envy pistol.
Yeah, it was. And that's Envy doing what they do best on their attack side. A lot of misdirection, baiting their opponents into weird pushes and capitalizing on mistakes. They do a fast garage play at the start, catch Steel off guard, but they're immediately on the A push at that point, right? They take out the aggressive 100 Thieves players that were playing the A lobby. I thought Hiko might have brought 100 Thieves back in the round with the shock darts, but not enough. And Envy take the pistol. We're going to have a battle here at C, Dan. Holy cow. Look at this.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. We'll have to see what the setup is here. We've got the flash going straight forward. There's the dash as well. Lovely stuff. Asuna able to pick off one. Steel following it up nicely. So damage has been done here by 100 Thieves, but Envy still have that spike control, able to stabilize, able to use a nano swarm there from Finesse to slow things down, and they have recovered control of this C-long position. So again, they know what's up. They know that the rest of the map is probably quite open here. Yeah, you're getting some information. And we get a reset here. So it's a guessing game for the remainder of 100 Thieves as to what Envy are doing.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult for 100 Thieves to pull through in this round at this point. You see, Ye lurks into B, takes out Hiko. They know Steel is now at C. Oh, this is almost unwinnable for Steel, but a really good eco nonetheless for 100 Thieves, making Envy reinvest some of that money. We're going to go into the first down, Dan, and Envy is going to be on the bonus. I am always so terrified of these bonus rounds because teams can run away with the game so quickly.
Yeah, what do you want to see, or what should we be seeing from 100 Thieves? Do they want to play a passive retake-based approach, or what is some of the better answers against the bonus?
Yeah. Well, I think this is where the KO pick and the triple initiator really comes into play, right? Steel is going to get a lot of info at the start of this round with that 0 point. And they should be able to stop this fast play from Envy. Envy doesn't want a slow, drawn-out round with those 3 Spectres. They want to do something explosive. And it's going to be at the A site right into Nitro and Eco, here it comes.
Okay, and it looks like 100 Thieves will know that this is coming, so their job now on the A site is to try to delay this as much as possible, buy time for the rotation. And it looks like Envy are going to go straight in there. They've got Ye in position. Nitro is also there. The flash goes through, though, to prevent him from getting any damage done. So ultimately, this attack has worked out really well here for Envy. And 100 Thieves, you know, they were flashing as well. They were trying to make sure that they had the information if it was going to be, you know, a bait and switch and there was going to be a rotation. But Envy keeping it simple here on this bonus, and it's really good.
Oh, maybe too soon, Dan.
Maybe, yeah, maybe I spoke too soon indeed. Oh, no, no bullets there for oh my god, it's just absolute madness here as they try to push this one forward. It's Finesse, though, able to make the defense work out. Steel now coming in pretty late to this one, but in the 1v1, time against him now. So that spike ticks away. There's the bait and just to push past the angle. Steel has no idea that Crashes is in a more forward position, and that's a wrap for this one. Envy will hold on to it. It was a good attempt, though. 100 Thieves made it look doable, but it's a 3-0 start here for Envy.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant play by Crashes right there to use that timing as Steel loops around the sight box, gets out into the site, and can see the spike, so he knows for a fact that after Steel taps, he's not sticking it. Oh my goodness. I said the 0 point needed to have some effect at the start of the round. Steel unfortunately went C, and when he rotated back, he threw it short just a little bit too early. Got nothing out of it, and the site was just lost. The Spectres just ran them over.
It's the eco round now for 100 Thieves. We'll see it Marshall and Steel, Sheriffs and so on. They're going for a really heavy push with the Blade Storm on Asuna around this A position, around the A lobby. There's a Paranoia, so looks like Victor's going to be able to dodge that one. Maybe not actually, though. Asuna won't be denied, nor will Ethan. And that's a gun there now for Asuna. He's still got the blades out as well. Does get taken down by Finesse. Well played here by Envy, holding the perimeter quite effectively. Really controlling the movement here of 100 Thieves, who are still nipping at their heels. But as I say that, some of these Sheriffs are quite dangerous. And suddenly, Envy do have a lot of issues. They have to get the spike to safety. You can see Finesse's angle. He has to cross line of sight.
One enemy
against
remaining.
the two players here from 100 Thieves. They have to fight. Nitro with another headshot. One more is all he needs to find it, and it's Finesse instead, who's a little bit quicker to the trigger. And that's Envy 4-0 up.
And FNS has had a fantastic playoffs all around. He has had some banger series. He's sitting on top of the scoreboard 10-1, the in-game leader for Envy on the Sentinel role. I mean, he's doing it all, honestly. He's very involved in bait setups and setting up his teammates. He's closing out the clutches. Great round by him right there to settle things down from the 5-man A push from 100 Thieves. Again, Steel in garage here with Ethan, and they're going to have to stop a garage split. I think it's coming towards them.
It's looking like that, and you know, Asuna's picked up an operator, but he's not in the action. He's on A short right now, so yeah, all the focus is on this garage play coming from Envy. Oh, we actually get the lockdown coming through as well, so that's to clear out the garage, but we get the knife coming out from Steel, trying to go aggressive into this one, and we'll be able to actually deal with the lockdown. Great counterplay coming through, but even stronger from Ye, pulls out the daggers off of the kill on Steel, is going to try to run this straight through garage, causing all kinds of problems. The rotation's already in here from 100 Thieves, so they're ready for this one. With that said, though, we've got that sneaky play with the spike through A-Link already.
Link. Hiko could meet up with him if he pushes through spawn. Looks like they're going to settle for the B plant. And the round's going to slow down a little bit, finally.
How spread Envy are, though? They have two mega lurks going on at the moment. This is very scary stuff here. But Envy are poised to do a good amount of damage here. This is the first one of those flanks, and perfect timing indeed. Takes down Ethan. Victor, nice timing on his end as well. This is looking great, and Asuna suddenly with very little support to work with as he tries to make it happen. But Nitro, brute force there, off of the Phantom. 2 quick kills now, just leaves him in the 1 versus 2, but Envy, that was just a beautiful round.
This is absolutely wild. This is so fun to watch because Envy has brought a very, very fast pace to this game. And it's, in my opinion, it looks like something that could counter this triple initiator style from 100 Thieves. they're always trying to slow down the round, look for more info, use the 0 point, use the Trailblazer, use the drone, use the recons, use the guiding lights. They're using everything to get info and stack sites, but Envy is just moving so fast around the map that it's so difficult for 100 Thieves right now. They don't even get a chance to use abilities.
Get the suppression there on Ye. Doesn't seem to care though, pushes further forward. And aggression on C-Long at the same time. Great setup from 100 Thieves. That's going to be a very strong opening advantage. 5 versus 2. Very strong indeed. It's going to be difficult to recover from here, but you know, in Ye's words, he's an extremely disruptive player. So we'll see what he's able to find with the help of Finesse as well.
The double cubby setup. That was an absolutely gorgeous open to the round by 100 Thieves. Well, they see aggression with the blind ult from Hiko at A. Both sides open up. Oh,
oh nice shot from Ye.
My God.
Got to be careful about this one.
One enemy remaining.
Can't get the flawless, but if they can keep 4 alive, that would be great. Yeah, he wants to hold on to that operator. It's a lot of value in his hands. And again, I also love the response here, Sean. I've got to say from Envy, or rather, sorry, from 100 Thieves to go so aggressive. See, yeah, he's actually going to discard the operator. Doesn't want to give it away. But the reason I love it is because Ye is such a problem. He's the sense of urgency when Ye's pushing and getting those openings. We see that there's an enormous response that you have to have as the defenders. And Envy have been punishing the holes that Ye is able to create with his pressure. And so if you just take the initiative like we saw 100 Thieves do, you can just remove any of that from being a problem at any point.
10 seconds left.
That's exactly right. And that's one of the most impressive things as Ye falls. So 100 Thieves get their first round on the board, but that's one of the most impressive things about this Envy team's run is this style of Jett is not something that was on their team before. Mame played a very passive style. He used the dash to reposition a lot. Ye is using the dash to aggress very often. He's getting in people's faces. He's opening up rounds. I think I have his first blood stats. His first blood stats in the playoff stand, 57 and 32. Compare that to Asuna, who has the #1 stats in playoffs, 25 and 28. Like, his success rate in opening duels is unreal. And this is a fast C-pop. Okay, we've seen this before from Envy. Crash is going to blind ult the site with an arrow.
Envy straight on that C site. And 100 Thieves actually gambled towards the A side of the map, so they're playing retake here. But Ye, he's found a forward position. They're not ready for Ye. That's 2 openings there. He'll take it all the way through to spawn. He'll get punished, but the damage is huge. And the post-spawn positioning as a result of all the space that they just gained is amazing. This will be very hard to deal with. Now we get the Seekers sent out there as well for additional information here for Envy. They're being really active here. They're not sitting on their positions. The spray's coming through for Finesse. It makes it worse here for 100 Thieves. They're in a very desperate position, and there's nowhere left to go.
Oh my gosh. What do you do against a C-pop like that, Dan? Just a recon launch from attacker spawn like that. It lands. Crashy's immediately ulting. And we haven't even gotten to Crashy's. The wealth of talent in this server is just insane. I mean, if you got to see the game yesterday with Crashies on the Sova, it was crazy. Crashies versus BCJ was such a treat.
We might get some mid aggression here, Sean, actually, from Garage and mid from 100 Thieves. And these rounds are being won with the opening round advantages so far. Both teams investing heavily.
And Hiko's going to have to give up this site. There's no way this Sova can hold this alone. 0 point, though, taking away the abilities from 2 Envy players. Victor and Ye. I would call Victor a duelist on that Sky.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter what Victor's playing, he is a duelist. We're going to get the push coming in from the flank now from 100 Thieves. There's again that mid push, so lots of bodies to throw at these positions on A lobby and shorts.
Ooh, the KO ult,
nice
Dan.
angle.
How does Envy hold this with no abilities? It's not looking like they do.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's going to come down to the raw gun potential out of Ye. Gunfight potential, and he's very good, but he's stuck in the corner, and it's just a matter of time. So 100 Thieves, they're coming back into this one, Sean, but again, it feels like we're not really getting into like mid-rounds here. It's just kind of like the early round push, one way or the other, kind of decides who's going to take it.
Yeah, and I'm shocked. When I saw Hiko alone at that site, I thought it was getting run over. The 0 point from Steel was worth its weight in gold. I mean, that was... that knife might have just been diamond crusted, you know, as it hit the wall. Because it was just... it really helped the site be held, and then his ult comes in. The retake is just so clean. They needed a round like that for their economy. And Austin has the Blade Storm, so I'm curious to see how he's going to try to open up the round with that.
This might actually be a slower round from both teams. Pressure on both
This is a
sides.
fake, Dan. This is a fake.
Let's see how the reaction is from Thieves if they're wide or not. That's a great start from Nitro, and he might try to get more information here. Victor punishing the information player on the other side of the map. They'll spot the spike. They know what's going on. Nihiko has to hold, but Ye is just so maneuverable on that jet. You can't just catch him at all. There's nothing you can do about it. The Blade Storm really paying off. It's not over just yet. Asuna and Ethan on this retake.
One enemy.
There's the dash through before the plant's been finished. Oh my, what just happened? It doesn't matter. The frenzy comes in to save it, but I'm submit bug report. I don't know.
Where'd they all go? It looked like one of my Blade Storms.
Spike down.
We can see that again. That looked really weird.
Your fault.
Nitro literally came in from his ult, was ready to flash.
I just want to see what Ye's face looked like at that point of view, in that moment. That's interesting. Well, 7-2 in favor of Envy now, having a very solid half. Another big C-pop coming through, and a blind ult to clear space for the mid-aggression. And unfortunately, Underthieves just guessed wrong this time, Sean.
Yeah, you have to wonder if that's some kind of read, right? The last time he had the ult, he blind ulted through A. He's done it a lot in the past. And it caught Envy the first time. This time they, adjust. Everyone C, away from the ult, let Hiko waste it. And now we have a 5v5 retake. No ults on 100 Thieves. How do they get in?
Well, that's a good start. He goes down to Asuna. Victor goes aggressive. The flash is good, and it's 4 players down for 100 Thieves. In the blink of an eye, they've been wiped out. It's just Nitro here. This is a very difficult scenario. Trying to find that first fight. Couple bunnies coming in from Finesse. But it will be marked to take out Nitro. Another round in the bag for Envy. And this pace from Envy has been extremely difficult for 100 Thieves so far.
It's unreal. The pace is unreal from Envy. And they have the perfect agents to do it, right? The Astra that can just put stars down everywhere, play explosive. This new Sky, able to just insta-pop flashes and swing with them. Envy just has such a terrifying style because they could play the slow style like 100 Thieves, but they can also do this and just completely disrespect you.
Yeah, and it's well, we'll go into some of the responses that 100 Thieves need to have against this. We have this anti-eco now for Envy. They're going for that B site. The counter utility and the knife, they're slowing things down a little bit, and that's going to be a counterplay coming through from 100 Thieves. They can't quite find the fights they're looking for. Envy, quite methodical here, able to help each other out and prevent anything untoward from happening so far. Yeah, he will get taken down with a shot start, and hey, Steel's found a quick headshot off the Sheriff, and now we get a quick sprint to this A site to complete a spike plant in a 3 versus 3. There might be recoverable weapons in mid here for 100 Thieves to pick up.
FNS has this lockdown. I think he's going to use it. And I don't know how 100 Thieves gets in the site regardless. Oh, man. They're going to go up against a lot. The turret being first contact, this over there. Victor's on the flank. He's way out of this play, Dan. This is a 2-on-3.
It is a 2-on-3, but how does this defense look here? Frenzy, Crashy's ready. Good recon. And Cass is waiting behind the smoke. That's beautiful. What a setup there. That one ping, but return from Steel. It's causing problems here. Marble goes out. Victor in the flank, and he's going to get the double with the spray on the Phantom. Good stuff there from Envy, keeping it under control. 9-2 now.
The switch.
Such a heads-up play, right? From FNS and Crashies. I mean, Crashies could waste that recon on the wall. He could shoot it a link to make sure no one's there. He's so patient with it. They wait for the sounds of the retake to be happening. They wait for their enemies to be in the site. They get in the Omen Dart cover. And it's just free. It's free at that point. The second that arrow pings one time, they're just getting a kill. It's just so well done. So well done.
And it's tough here too, because we have the ultimate advantage for Envy. The lockdown was saved. Crashies has the Hunter's Fury available as well, and it's another heavy presence towards this A site. Asuna, though, with the Operator in position, looking to try to find a punish Oh, unable to catch the cross there from Victor. And Asuna is still maintaining control of long for now.
Ooh, yeah, he's gonna hold this.
Grounded.
Oh, wow. Just the battle of reactions. They set it up so Ye had advantage. Asuna played straight into the setup. And now they're down 2 players.
And, oh, the lockdown is out of the equation. That does help significantly.
Steel a little bit slow on that one. Absolutely not. And in goes Envy. They know that 100 Thieves are pretty weak, and there's a flash, the pop flash just straight through the Cosmic Divide. Victor makes Sky look so good right now. Hunter's Fury to try to finish off the round, trying to find Nitro. Nitro's going to get pummeled by that. And another round going towards Envy. 10-2. What a strong first half coming out of Envy. Sean, this was savage this half.
Yeah, that was hard to watch at some points. I mean, at no point did Envy look like they were losing that half, guys. They look phenomenal today. Every day since Ye has joined this team, they've looked better and better. I don't know how 100 Thieves bounces back this map.
Well, it is just the first half of a best-of-5 series, so we'll have to see if 100 Thieves can wake up as we go into the second half after this break. Welcome back, Valorant fans. We have Envy and 100 Thieves. This is the second half of the first map of a best-of-5 series here. Both of these teams fighting hard to try to battle against Sentinels for North American supremacy here on the lead-up to Berlin Masters. And Envy are certainly making a case for themselves here, Sean, in this first half.
Yeah, they are. But Crashy is going to have to make a case for himself here because he's going to have a lot coming at him. Skyflash probably coming over the wall. Recon there. Oh, but it's all a fake. They just threw a lot of utility. Austin's going to set up, get some short A control with Hiko's drone. If you look, the spike is actually heading towards Garage right now.
Yeah, and Crashies, though, he's actually on an information gathering mission. Finds Hiko, and Asuna is going to get weakened as well. Asuna will pick off 2 kills there. However, 100 Thieves do have that control on that C site. And it's like the spike plant will come through.
Field does have that 0 point for the retake. I'm curious when he's going to use it.
Out of charges. Placing sentry.
Big setup there around the cubby.
No. The turret on the spike. It's kind of dirty.
Well, it looks like he'll be destroyed fairly quickly. Asuna lurking around Garage. Oh, able to capitalize off of that flash and is doing a great job lurking around these positions on the extremities. Marv is left alone here. Marv able to get a quick double, but there's 2 more to find, and he has to bait them out of position. There's the Sky Flash. The peak's coming through. Oh, Marv makes it happen almost. Almost.
Oh.
He made the best possible case for that, but it wasn't quite enough.
Jesus. You can take the player out of phase, but you can't take the phase out of Marv right there. That's some phase aim. Jesus. That was crazy.
I don't think that could have been more optimized from Marv. Like, he missed like 1 bullet there and it wasn't a headshot. Every other bullet was like a headshot. I mean, well, either way. I know these they did the first thing they need to do, but there's many other things they must do. Sean, they've got to capitalize here, make a clean round of this. And we have a lot of investment here from Envy. The Sheriff and the Marshal could be dangerous.
Yeah. It's not a full buy by any means. They will buy next round, but yeah, they could easily steal this round with this buy. They're real close to steal.
Great patience from 100 Thieves, though. They do actually catch the push.
Spike down.
I guess one with the Marshal. A little bit of damage. And that's a wrap there. 100 Thieves able to pick up the anti-eco pretty effectively. Again, I'm always afraid when I see a Sheriff in these games with players like this good. I've just seen it too many times, Sean. But it will be 100 Thieves holding on to it. Now they have that bonus.
Oof. What do they do here? Austin is 2 orbs away from that Blaze. It would be so money if he could get that with an orb, but that's not the case. I think we're going to see the same early round setup. Steel flashing over the window for Austin to peek B, but he's going to have 3 people waiting for him here. No, okay, they repositioned. Oof. Lucky for Asuna.
They're going really aggressive against the bonus here. I really like this from Envy. They're going to hear all the stepping towards A. It definitely feels like an A play here, but you can see that it's actually a fake. They're going to run back here. Envy might walk straight into this one, and they're ready for it. Marv, they're up in the window. Able to take down Steel, and 100 Thieves are having a lot of problems here rotating out. They can't rotate out because Envy are on top of them. They walk straight back into Envy's push, and they had no idea about that.
Wow. Wow, Dan. I feel like that's a Mike's HD special right there. How do you even, I feel like that's a hard anti. Victor going up there knowing that, you know, the initiators from 100 Thieves typically use one of their information gathering tools. So their drone, you know, their trailblazer, or their 0 point. They'll use one of those things to clear out an area of the map. And it puts you very vulnerable if you're Sky or Sova and you're doing those things. And you can see Envy's ready to pounce on that, even though 100 Thieves is on an inferior buy. Like, that's such a wild play for a team to make, but Envy makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I really like that for so many reasons, especially, again, as you say, like, if it's the case that this is like a hard anti-strat whereby, you know, there's also a lot of tells for the fact that 100 Thieves on these kinds of rounds are mostly, you know, going towards a default that's A or C centric, and they're not creating a lot of space around that mid position, and it's open. That creates a world of problems, especially for 100 Thieves, as we saw there, because 100 Thieves, they try to fake off of that initial control. Maybe, and I think 100 Thieves were thinking that Envy would be scared because they're on the bonus, so they don't want to take those close fights. But Envy have proven that they're not scared really at all so far in this series of taking fights.
No, okay, so they're not going to do the B push this round. You can see the Killjoy setup on B. They'll likely just have Victor chill back there, not play super aggressive on B. They have a double C, double A setup. Then Alarm Bot on short A.
Time to hunt.
Ooh.
You can see that Envy are playing retake on this A site right now. They're also not convinced that this is going to be a push on the A site. They're not really repositioning their defense too much at the moment. And that seems like it's a good call here, because we can see that 100 Thieves are, you know, representing quite a lot of pressure towards A, but they are now spreading out into mid. We get the info play there, the Trailblazer through Garage from Envy. They're trying to work out what's going on.
Gosh, Marv's control right now in this Asher is perfect. The way he's just popping nebulas everywhere right when 100 Thieves is about to enter that area.
Again, look at the pressure from 100 Thieves here. They once again look like they're about to push into B. They're challenging with utility, but then they fall out. And during that, I think they're hoping that space was created towards A, which it has been. And A is up for grabs now. 40 seconds to go. There's the initial entry utility here from 100 Thieves. They'll get the site. Again, we can see that there's nothing going on there. Quick knife thrown up to clear out the window.
Oh, I honestly think Crashes was going to double shock that planter. Luckily for 100 Thieves, the suppress hits him. Nitro on the lurk. That's massive. I wonder if Marv is going to use his wall. There it is.
Look, push actually coming in from Envy now. The Cosmic Divide there to try to go for the retake. Yay, off the back of that, able to get a second. Crashies unlocked now as well. Trades from 100 Thieves, trying to hold on to this one. It's up to Marv in a 1 versus 2. Playing around the Cosmic Divide is Hiko. Marv, this is such a difficult position. Players from 2 angles. Has no idea where the second player is. And Hiko will take him down. 100 Thieves, they played a really slow round there, Sean. But they really made it work with all of these pressure plays.
Exactly. I think that's Nitro on the Omen lurk roll. He's so good at this, right? We see it a lot out of the controllers right now in NA. The Asher's on the lurk. They have the global smokes. Omens can pretty much smoke anything on the map, especially a map like Haven. So Nitro's capable of getting in these lurk rolls, and he is just so good at finding timings.
We can see 100 Thieves opening up with pressure around mid this time, kind of giving up any control towards A lobby early on. See how Seal is just looking for any pushes from Envy, but Envy playing a passive opening again on the defense.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves is a little scared of this Blade Storm on Ye right now. He's known to just really play hyper aggressive when he has this out. So you can see they're playing deep towards attacker spawn right now. They're finally moving into A lobby. The drone pushes Victor back into the site, and 100 Thieves is capitalizing on this.
Right here.
Response there too. Envy get that info in mid to try to see, okay, are they going to try and commit bodies towards A here? But they killed the drone in mid, so 100 Thieves have already told.
Yeah, Nitro has the spike down. Nitro has the spike, so this is probably going to end up being a B play based on how everyone's grouping around that area of the map.
I've got your trail.
Okay, running with the Seekers there, trying to find a kill towards the A side of the map. And as you say, the B play is going to be coming in now from 100 Thieves, or at least they're trying to, but they will get denied by another smoke. So they can't quite get in. They have 30 seconds left on the clock now. They've got to start making moves towards a spike plant.
Oh, damn, they're going to the Killjoy. This is not good. The Killjoy and the Astra setup on C.
Not ideal, but going in with a flash. We'll see if they can make the entries happen here. Finesse is going to be able to take down one. It's looking really good right now here for Envy on the defense. It was a desperation call going into that C site. There wasn't much left to do here, and for 100 Thieves, it has not worked out.
Well, we
Player standing.
really haven't gotten this enough.
Ooh. No, we haven't.
Match point.
All right.
We need to be blessed with more KO ults, because I have a feeling we could see some really cool trolling going on.
Yes.
Particularly from people like Dapper, Marved. You know, they're very good at this stuff. They think about it in their spare time. Yeah.
Alarm bot out.
That's what they think about when they're like falling asleep at night. It's like the new trolls they can do for Valorant. But it's 12-5. It's map point here for Envy. This is the first map if you're just joining us. And Envy, they've looked in crazy good form so far. Oh, we got the C set up again. Just pop flash for himself. Victor just making it happen. Playing a game all by himself, basically.
He's really using the Sky as a duelist, and he's had so much success doing it.
That's great to see. And there's not a lot of options here, because Envy have shut down A, they've shut down C, Long, and Garage. There's only mid to work with. There's nowhere else to go right now. And they can't get into mid either. It's been smoked off. They have no space to work with 100 Thieves. They're completely stuck right now.
Jeez, and even if they took a site, FNS has the lockdown. How do they possibly win this round? Hiko has the ult, which could counter it. This is a big fight, though.
Taken out.
Angle from Crash. He's quick frag. Oh, and he might just finish it off. No, Hiko will give this one a go. It's going to have to be a 1 versus 5 ace clutch for Hiko. They know precisely where he is, and Finesse will finish it off nicely. Graced up there from Envy, 13-5. It never looked like it was in question. We had some small kind of live showing in the first half from 100 Thieves, but ultimately Envy just seemed many steps ahead.
Yeah, they seemed miles ahead of 100 Thieves on this map. I mean, this looks a lot like what we saw Sentinels do to 100 Thieves yesterday. It's kind of making me a little bit scared for this 100 Thieves comp. Has it been solved by the top teams in NA already? There's a lot to worry about if you're a 100 Thieves fan after watching this map. But it's a long series, Dan, so who knows? They could bounce back.
Yep, it is a long series. That's Haven out of the way with, which I think 100 Thieves will perhaps be happiest to have that out of the way with first. But talk more on that. We'll have the analysts talk on it right after the break.
Your purchase could be free when you use your Credit Karma Visa debit card. Free groceries, free gas, or even a free TV. It's called Instant Karma, and you can only win it from Credit Karma Money. Open your account for free in the Credit Karma app. Credit Karma Money. Progress starts here.
Well, it's Marshall and it's Tens.
This is where Reynas are bred. One more. Yep, now the duelist is starting to come through. Not quite there to help out. Now the swing starts to come through. Whippy just trying to provide some additional angle.